In the regional Indian capital of Kolkata, West Bengal, a brutal case of rape and murder. Unclear details around the killing of a trainee doctor, known to her friends and colleagues as Dr. Abhaya, has ignited a mass protest movement that has spread across the entire nation.
Justice for Archikor! Justice for Archikor!
Dr. Deepanvita Sarkar is from Kolkata and is a member of the West Bengal Junior Doctors Front, who are leading protests in the city.
Right now, we, the civilians of Kolkata, are on streets protesting against a heinous crime that has happened in our city. On 9th of August 2024, a lady doctor who was on her duty in Arjikar Medical College and Hospital, which is also in Kolkata, got raped and murdered in her workplace during her work hours.
Dr. Abhaya was found dead the following morning, and her family was initially told by the police that it was a suicide. It later became clear that she was, in fact, violently raped and murdered. Other details of what happened, where, and who was involved remain murky. Dr. Tawheed Moomin is also a member of the West Bengal Junior Doctors Front.
We, as a whole, as a city, as a medical fraternity, are shook by it. Everything possible was done to cover it up and pass it off as something very trivial. And initially it was also tried to pass off as a suicide, and the parents of the victim were made to wait for a long time before they could see their daughter. After that, there were alleged accusations of money being offered to them. And so basically what we could see that this murder and this rape was tried to be covered up by the machinery of the state and the officials of the medical college involved. So this is why our protest has shook the nation, as that's why we are protesting, because we want justice. We don't want this issue to be swept under the rugs. We want this to be brought up, and we want justice for what happened, and we want the real culprits to be, so that they come out. Because till now, so initially one arrest was made. He was a civic volunteer.
That one initial arrest that was made was of Sanjay Roy, a volunteer who worked with the police, who was caught on CCTV in the area on the night of the murder. Since then, though, questions have been raised by activists who believe that this was a crime not only premeditated, but with more than one person involved, and on an institutional level.
He was a civic volunteer. He was said to have perpetrated this crime and done it. But apart from that, the ex-principal of the Arjikar Medical College and Hospital was very, very, very deeply involved in this. That's why now he, along with the officer in charge of the police station where this incident happened, both of them have finally been arrested on accusations of alleged rape and murder of our beloved sister.
As well as the principal, a number of other arrests of hospital administration staff have now taken place, lending credibility to the activists' claims of an institutional conspiracy.
Because the heinous crime that has happened has a backstory. We believe that it has a backstory, because it is not possible that a doctor is getting raped and murdered on her workplace, just overnight. It's not possible. This is a planned murder. We are thinking that we believe that this is a planned murder. It was done with more than 3 to 4 people, we are guessing. We are saying that they are literally hiding the criminals, and to save them, what they are doing, they are tampering with the evidences, they are giving false statements to media, and they are lying about us. That's why we are just fighting together.
Who do you think is responsible for this crime?
See, we can't tell one particular name because we don't believe that this is the work of one person.
Since the murder, women and doctors have been leading protests, demanding transparency and justice in the death of their colleague. The megacity of Kolkata is home to an estimated 15 million people, and the RG Kar Hospital was one of the city's busiest.
Kolkata, throughout its history, has been actively involved and has been at the forefront of movements like this, movements for justice, movements which have had national significance, movements which have shaped our country.
If you read the history, you will see that Kolkata had the biggest number of freedom fighters while fighting with the Britishers, the East India Company. So yeah, we have a big history of fighting against injustice, and we are still fighting against injustice.
And it has no comparison in history, kind of support we've had from the mass, so it's unprecedented. So this is a one-of-a-kind movement.
Unprecedented, perhaps, but this isn't the first time that a sexual assault has stirred huge controversy in India. Back in 2012, nationwide protests broke out after a 23-year-old student was gang-raped on a moving bus in the capital, Delhi. And though reports of sexual assault have significantly increased in recent years, conviction rates remain dismally low. Today, protests have once again spread across the entire nation, with rights activists demanding not only better facilities and protections for medical workers, but accountability for rape crimes in a country where, according to the latest figures, on average, one woman is raped every 17 minutes.
The protests started with Kolkata, but eventually all our fraternity joined us across India with us for this protest. They are supporting us. We are really getting support from all over India, because not exactly like this, but similar kind of things had happened in almost everywhere in India, in every state in India, and we do not want this to repeat. We do not want one more Abhaya or one more Tilottama to happen. Never, ever.
At the time of production, activists from the Junior Doctors Front are still protesting nearly 90 days after the murder, while simultaneously coordinating partial and full working strikes and a fast until death hunger strike, which has resulted in at least 6 hospitalizations, as well as the removal of senior officials of the State Health Department and increased security for workers. They demand an end to the so-called threat culture, which they say is a culture of coordinated and systematic intimidation present in medical and state institutions.
Sexual assault or this rape culture has been prevalent. It's been increasing in numbers, and so many cases we don't get to know because it's happening in the periphery, in small villages, or maybe people have been threatened to not come up and talk about it, and they've been silent. They've been literally threatened and blackmailed to not come up with this. It's not only about Kolkata or West Bengal, but it's all over this country. It's not just a rape and murder anymore. The main problem is justice is being denied.
Also, we have to shout for justice, and we have to demand justice, because they are denying us. They are denying our sister from getting her justice. That's why we are on the streets right now, and the protests are going on. It has started since 9th of August, and it's still going on, and we are still fighting, and we will not stop until we get the justice.